Hey, this is Dan from tinyhouseproject.wordpress.com. Just finishing up day 6. We got the roofing finally done and the tar paper in. Just in time for the rain. We're about to get rained out again, but I think we're both done anyway, so it's coming at a good time. So the nice thing about getting the tar paper done is once that's done, it's kind of sealed, so water's not going to get in as much. It's still going to get in through the windows a little bit, but you don't really have to worry about the warping as much as what you had to beforehand. So I'll take a real quick look inside. Now that the roof is on, you get a much better feel for the house itself. You can see the sleeping loft up there. We don't have anything on the sleeping loft yet, so you can't actually lay it there or anything. But it's pretty roomy, and especially I think if you when you sleep, if you put your head this direction, you'll have the dormer windows. So it'll feel really roomy. I just don't know how awkward it would be to have to turn around once you get up there. But then there'll also be the window on the other side. So as far as framing goes, that's the only thing that we're missing. We're missing the framing on the gable end. So that gable end down there, where there's going to be a window, be a nice 17 by 17 inch awning window. So you'll get a lot of light in. And then also the framing up here. The framing up here is just, we got two more studs to go up, and then the sheathing. You can see there's a nailer. Let me go inside. This is something, just a term that you might hear. So some of the wood inside this house is for structural reasons. So right there, right in the center of the frame, you've got a rafter, and that's providing structural support to the roof. And you also have a rafter here, but if you notice, there's a little piece of board that's nailed next to the rafter. And what's that's called is a nailer, and it's a piece of wood that provides no structural support. But for every corner, you have to have 2 pieces of wood because you have to nail the internal internal siding to each corner. So let me see if I can give you another example. Yep. Ooh, gotta climb around here. So in the corner, you've got this wall. And this is the stud that makes up the end of that wall. And then back in here, you've got another stud, and that's the stud that makes up the back of this wall. Well, this is actually called a 3-stud corner, because you notice that there's this extra stud here. So you might be wondering, well, why is there an extra stud? Well, you need a corner to be able to nail the siding onto. So you'll have, man, my hands are really dirty. This is tar paper dirt. You got the siding will be nailed onto here. In this case, it'll be slat siding, and then you'll also have siding nailed onto here. So there's a lot of these boards. Once you start putting them in, or once you start doing the siding, you realize how many of those you need. So there's a lot of those boards around. And I think that's it. The only other thing I'll tell you, the climbing on the roof is not for the faint of heart. I can climb through the rafters before the sheathing is put on. Climbing through the rafters, you kind of have the security of having all the wood around you, and it feels like you're climbing on a jungle gym. But once you put that sheathing up there, being 13 feet up in the air, it's a little bit of a scary proposition. When my brother was helping me with the first one, he would do a lot of the climbing up there, and now I'm having to do it, and it's a little scary. Just want to say one last thing. You might be wondering, this house is going up pretty quickly, and a lot of that has to do with some of the tools that I have access to here. My dad's a contractor, and so he has things that you might not normally have access to. So you see those little green plastic tops? That's what they're called. They got a little nail in them, and they got a plastic ring around them that holds the tar paper down. So on the last build, I used these little plastic top, nail in the center. You use a hammer to nail them down, and it takes a decent amount of time. I pull this out, and my dad says, "Oh, you're going to use those? Why don't you use this?" I mean, this thing looks like it's out of the movie Terminator. It's got nails, and then it's got the plastic things in here, and it puts it all together. And I'll tell you, it works like a charm. So, anyways, the tar paper went up in about maybe about an hour, and I would think that it normally would take maybe about an hour and 45 minutes or so.